Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Last time we fought our dear friend the Armored Maw-Dad, took him out, but we could not recover his corpse, nor the fruit, nor the strange device that he dropped. So we're going to head back into the Garden of Hope and spend some time getting that stuff. And we have some other things that we need to pick up and collect as well. So make sure to grab those. And also, one thing I forgot to do at the end of the last episode is we picked up all those data files, and I never really went over any of them like I said I would. So I've remembered. We're going to go to our code-pad here. You can check it out when you hover over an area. It'll show you the map of that area, what you've discovered basically. And as you can see here, this is as far as we got that communication device back. And it also shows you like the enemies, the basic stuff that you see on the regular map. You can just view it before you go. It gives you a little chance, to plan out your day. And what we're mainly going to do is we're going to go, there's a dirt wall over here. We're going to go see what's behind that. We're going to get all the stuff back from the Armored Maw-Dad, including the dragon fruit, which we left behind. That's going to give us a ton of juice, so it's always good to pick that up. We're also just going to finish up this bridge again as well. But the main reason I came in here is we have some data files I would like to go over. We'll just go over everything, basically anything that says new, and some of this stuff is going to be pointless. Like move the cursor to your target, press Z to lock on, pretty simple stuff. All the data files are like that. Charging Pikmin, that's under controls. Pikmin behavior is a little more interesting, I think, just because it's not like the self-explanatory stuff from like the UI that you can just, deduce yourself. Pellets retrieved via the Pikmin of the same color, more sprouts. That's a good tip. Pikmin grow and develop, they get faster and a little stronger, I believe. And there's the thing about certain jobs. This is specifically for bridge. There are some other ones we will see in some later areas that we visit. Red Pikmin are resistant to fire. They're the best fighters. And rock Pikmin are very hard. Like rocks. Fantastic data file. And then we have the Indigenous Life one, which concerns, the Indigenous Life. These are the files we picked up while fighting the Armored Maw-Dad. This is about a Bulborb. Attack from behind to gain the advantage. You can also... Actually, we'll demonstrate another aspect of finding Bulborbs in a later area. Dork Bulborbs. Land on him. He's cooked. And lastly, hiding. There's going to be obvious spots that are like clovered and cover over that you could hide in and hide from the Indigenous Life in. And then we have Olimar's Log here. This is the first one we saw. Just basically searching for treasure. And then, that's all the data files we picked up. I think another thing we could just go over while we're here is the facts here about the fruits. For the Sunseed Berry, Brittany wrote, as a scientist and as a food eater, I'm excited about this new source of potential nutrition. I just wish it didn't look like it was covered in pimples. Luckily, the taste of it is like delicious. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Luckily, the taste of it is like delicious and scrumptious. Had a baby. No, okay, that's why that was hard to read. Let's gather as many of these as we can. And it tells you how much juice it will give, collected. And then how many Pikmin are needed to carrot. This is, of course, a lemon. Gets you 1.5 things of juice. Face wrinkler, as they call it. The fruit is so sour that one bite makes my whole face want to climb into my mouth and pull it back out. It's high in Pictanium U, though. So I guess I'll try adding small amounts of the juice to other food. Better food. a horrific review there of a lemon. Shit. And then we have the enemies here in the Piccolopedia. We have the white spectralidids, or a butterfly. That's white. Its structural flaw is a weak hide. They're saying that a tiny design adjustment can cause huge cascades of change elsewhere in our project. Makes me wonder what effect our presence had on the planet. And then, like I said here, we see each captain basically just making stuff for every single one of the enemies. We'll probably go over some of these later time if they're interesting enough to share. In fact, let's do the Armored Maw-Dad. He's a boss. Let's give him a little time in the sun. Structural flaw is flesh beneath shell. Classic structural flaw. Luckily, humans don't have that flaw because they just have flesh. It takes a small army of rock Pikmin to make a dent in its reinforced crystal shell, destroying the shell completely is slow going, but since it burrows in the ground every time it comes down from the walls, it's too bad we didn't have the tools to adapt the pieces of its shell to the armor for the SS Drake. Thank God the SS Drake will never run into anything again. Shit, I don't want to shear grub. I want to talk about the Armored Maw-Dad. The crystal over his body is one of the most beautiful things I've seen on this planet. How people would stare if I could make a spacesuit out of it. Though maybe they'd only be staring because I'm in a translucent suit. Well, that is probably why, Brittany. I don't know why else you would want them to stare in the first place. Alright, with all that out of the way, all that jibber jabber, let's go back to the Garden of Hope. Unlike yesterday, we are not going to be in a big rush to get things done this day, mainly just because we kind of did everything we can do in the Garden of Hope already. We are going to need to come back here later with new Pikmin that we get, that we pick up along the way. So we're just going to land. We're going to take things slow. As you can tell, it's a very peaceful day here in the Garden of Hope. You got the rain, you got the animals, the ambiance. This is going to be one of those nice, relaxing days of Pikmin. We'll go ahead. We'll grab 30 rocks. And we'll grab 70 reds, of course. We are not going to quite get to the 100. So we will go ahead, get everybody whistled, and we'll throw one there. And then we'll just wait here for that guy to come back. And in the meantime, like I said, we're going to need to pick this back up. The Armored Maudad corpse is going to stay. Boss corpses stay. Unlike other, I don't think we've actually seen it, but other creatures, I guess, that you would kill, their corpses will not stay over the night when you return to an area. However, boss corpses are the exception, just probably due to their largeness and the fact that if you kill a boss, it might be close to the end of the day anyway, and they don't want you to feel robbed of a lot of Pikmin. So we're going to give that, the massive Armored Maudad corpse, we're going to give that to the rocks. It's going to be back here with the fruit. We're going to need 20 rocks just to carry that back. I think we'll need like 15 or whatever to do this. So before we split up for the day, I think our first importance will just be to get this guy back. We'll get our 10 reds on that. We will deal with these Wollywogs with our rock Pikmin there. They cannot be crushed. That guy's gonna fall in the water. And here, water tutorial. Oh no, water is lethal to Pikmin. Indeed it is, Elf. I need to blow the whistle with B to call the Pikmin back onto land. How the fuck you know that, Elf? Who taught you that? Oh, this guy did. Yep. So, these Pikmin, including the red Pikmin, are, well, they're all gonna be not weak to water, just they can't go in water. Not even a weakness, they just can't do it. And as you can see, the S's Drake has decided to interrupt me for the time being. We're getting a call. We're receiving a transmission from the Drake. Look at this. My goodness. What kind of calls are we making here, Alf? Analyzing recovered item. The Data Glutton. An ancient communication device used on this planet. It contains technology unknown to Kopai and is emitting a signal even now. Even if I integrate this device into the Drake's communication system, I should be able to boost our signal strength. It's incredible how this thing, I mean, it's clean. This was in the stomach of a beast, and it's just, it's beautiful. It's pristine condition. Alf, let's sell it. Looks like it's going to be an all-nighter for me. That's a good Elf. Alright, we got that back. And all those Pikmin, they are going to stay there at the Drake where they dropped it off. Just like they're dropping off a fruit. We'll get rid of these Wollywogs just to make our lives easier later on. I think I'm going to get about, I don't know, we'll get 20 reds started on this thing right here. Alright. And with that back, I'm going to throw Brittany there. I'm going to give her 10 reds. And I think 10 rocks. I don't know if she'll need the rocks from what I remember. But I don't think we ever broke down the crystal hiding some of those bridge pieces that I want to get done today. So she'll take these guys. And we will send her on over. Yeah, they're still in those crystals there. So we'll send her on over to the bridge. She can get that built. That's just going to be helpful later on when we have stuff to do in this area. Alf will take these other 50, and we will walk him back over to the boss arena. The eggs I've also backed. So at the end of the day, when we're really going to be strapped for time, I think that is when we'll just get the rest of these guys flowered on up. Also, since it's going to be more of a shorter day, we did unlock something in the mission mode regarding battling bosses. So I think we can check that out as well. And it looks like those reds there, if you could hear by the jingle, already got that wall done. So that is great. This is a nice multitasking. Let Pikmin just do their own thing here. 20 rocks. Y'all go take that big man back to the base. And you, 30 reds, you take this big fruit back to the base. Fantastic. We can then send Alf. So Alf, the only thing he get over here, he needs Brittany for. So I think I'll send him by these eggs, actually. That's what I'll do. Brittany, how about you get all 20 of your reds working on that? We got a data file here we did not pick up yesterday. So we'll get that first. Let's charge all of you rocks there. Let's make sure you all then get to work on the bridge. you get to work on the bridge. We'll pick up this data file. The red's already done. And you're like, wow, that didn't take a lot. Why didn't you do this yesterday? And, well, you don't need to put the bridge together in it. And when you're trying to, like, split up your captains and stuff, I don't know. Maybe if we did put it together, we would have had a different bit of luck. Maybe we could have defeated the Armored Maudad, but I decided against it. That was my best strategy. Alpha's going through a loading zone. If you try to switch to a captain and you notice they're not there, that just means they're going through one of the transitional areas here. Like, there he is. And as you can see, he's just popping out. Back over here. We'll get you charged on these guys. Perfect. They can all get that slurped on up. We want as many flowers as possible. We are going to get away later on here where we can, like, mass flower an entire group of Pikmin, which will be very useful. But for now, we should just pass up nectar that we see. It's a resource. Brittany will go back across the bridge here. And with that, we really only have one more thing to do. Like, legitimately do before we need to pack up for the day here. So we're going to grab Alf because this is going to be a 2-captain thing. Around Pikmin 3, there are going to be puzzles that clearly require you to use multiple captains in a certain way. And I kind of like that because it in a way, it does force you to not constantly have all the captains being on their own, doing their own thing, because sometimes you just need them together. But at the same time, I forgot I put 20 on this. Fantastic. We'll take these guys. But yeah, I do like how it forces you to regroup captains at times. And it is helpful as a reminder, just like, hey, sometimes a captain needs something, or you got like a bunch of Pikmin of one kind, and it's just not working out for what you're trying to do with that captain, so it's good to transfer them off. But we'll see there. Simple weight puzzle. This one reads 2. This one is, of course, reading 0. So we're going to toss... Actually, for Alf here, I'm going to give him 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to give him 5. Because, as you can tell, that line there looks very similar to the face wrinkler that we saw earlier. So it's probably safe to assume it'll take 5. And we'll go to Elf. A lot of fruits you can usually guess how many it'll take just by seeing it, if it's 3, if it's 1, if it's 5, or if it's whatever. But yeah. And with that, once everything that has a Pikmin right now gets back to base, that pretty much is it. The dragon fruit is back. Fantastic. We will go over here. We will give... we'll get that guy first. And we'll give these to the reds, just because the Armored Maudad is just going to give a bunch of Pikmin to the rocks. And I want to try to keep our numbers even, because I do have a plan for like the boss corpses that we'll run into throughout the game. And I have one for the reds, and it's just going to come a lot later. Oh my goodness. I believe these are... There's multiple leaf enemies. So I'm not entirely sure which ones these are. Oh my god, you asshole, die. Thank you. And I want you... Oh, okay. You carry his corpse back to base there. Those ones are pretty sure are harmless, though. They'll just disrupt your Pikmin rather than do anything harmful to them. Looks like the rocks got their guy back. Fantastic. We'll get that lime back. And with that, that is pretty much everything. And yeah, each enemy we want to see here, we want to try to get back to base, just because it adds it to our Piccolopedia, which is this area right here. And we can see we added 2 new ones. We added the yellow Wollywog. Oh, and then we can learn what this guy is. He is, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, the Skitterleaf. Fantastic. Desiccated Skitterleafs, I believe, are the dangerous ones, and we will see those guys later. That guy's just there. Why not? No mercy. We're not here to protect the population. We have all 100 of our Pikmin. And as you can just tell, the I've done it again. Tragedy has struck. The rocks! It's hard when every Pikmin is themed by color, except the rocks. And later the winged Pikmin. But yeah, they're pretty even now, which is good. In the graph at the end of the day, we will kind of see like the differences. Actually, I did not want to put those all away. So yeah, we'll see. So right now, we have half the day left. And we don't really have anything else to do. We can't go through that gate. We can't go through the water. Can't go through that gate. Can't go this way. It's being blocked. Can't go through this way because that yellow gate. And that's pretty much that's where everything else in the Garden of Hope is locked behind. So, what I think we'll do, we have a bunch of nectar spots. So first I want to get as many Pikmin flowers as possible. So I'll take all 90 of our reds here. Whistle them all up. We have a bunch that are still leaves. And like I said, we'll still try to grow their numbers. charge all of them onto that egg. Let all those guys get flowered on up. Way to go, my one little red friend. This guy will spit out too, because we got the red pellet. And yeah, so for the rest of the day, we're really just going to be doing the, getting the nectar. And while I did that, I thought I might just talk a little bit about the channel. Because for anyone watching, even if it's just one dude by himself, or maybe 3 dudes, or maybe 3 dudes and a girl, whoever small amount of people is watching, probably very confused why this random channel popped up doing Let's Plays in this Chugga Conroy-esque style, and why Pikmin 3 is the first one, and why, frankly, the Pikmin 3 Episode 1 is the first episode on the channel. It feels like there should be, I don't know, a little more context. And I wanted to kind of save that all for this day, mainly since I knew it would be slower. We're just going around getting nectar. So I thought I would talk about it a little bit now. But yeah, the channel here, King Doinkers, as I call it, no matter how dumb of a name that is, it brings me great joy every time I say it and see it. And I think the little channel icon there, the little mascot, I think he fits it pretty well. But yeah, what is this channel? What is it all about? And I hope right now at the start, I'm doing the easiest possible content I think I could do, which is, like I said, Let's Plays. Oh my gosh, is that all the nectar? Oh my goodness. Alright, good job, Reds. But yeah, I'm just doing the basics of Let's Playing right now, since it's the easiest to edit at first, it's easiest to record at first. You don't need to plan a structure, since the game in and of itself is the structure. You just have to follow behind, and you just kind of got to keep up with that. Ooh, there's more pallet posies. Don't get me wrong, there's still stuff that you need to edit, but it's easier than, like, making a 30-minute long video essay, you know? Good too. And so that's why I'm starting it here first, just because I'm trying to learn the basics of recording in general, how to get good audio, how to get editing down on a very, like I said, basic level, so that way I can do more stuff. I do eventually want to do some video essays on some things that interest me, on some games, just go over why I love them, or critique them. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Is it necessarily the most original content that exists on the platform itself? No. And it's tricky when you're first starting out to be the new original guy. So that's why I'm really just trying here at first to bring it with the personality. Let that be the draw, the hook, the theoretical hook here that catches people. And I'm just going to have Alf walk around here, see if there's anything else we should grab. I'm too lazy to go back to the onion and grab those too. But that's pretty much how I want to start it off. I do also want to start as every, younger age person who can talk with their friends or who has some idea about something. I want to do a podcast. It seems that's what everyone wants to do. However, I do plan. It will not be related to gaming in any way, the podcast that I have planned, and I hope to get that up on the channel here soon. In fact, who knows, it could already be up by the time this video is up. Probably not, though. But yeah, I do want to just start a podcast just because I think I have stuff to add to a conversation about a certain topic. Which, I mean, if you're going to start a podcast, you better have something you're adding, because, let's face it, there's so many in the market nowadays, and so many people who are just better at it because they have the experience, and they have the... They have the experience, and they have the personalities, and they know what makes good content. So it's initially really hard to compete. But I plan to hopefully put my name out there, see if it sticks. But yeah, excuse me there. That's going to pretty much be what the channel is at the start here. That is what I just want to start with. It's going to cover the things I'm most passionate about. I love Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Is Pikmin 3 Deluxe my favorite game? No. Is it an extremely fun game to play and talk through and just go through? Yeah. And also, when you're doing live commentary, sometimes it can be hard in doing the commentary part, when you just need to fill gaps of words and be quiet and not, do those awkward phrases like, oh, we're doing this, oh, we're doing that. Damn it. Fine, you can take that back. See, it just happened now with those awkward phrases. So I hope Pikmin here, it's a slower day. That's why I wanted, oh my god. Tragedy. It is a slower day, so I thought that's why it would be good to do it now. We're getting the hurry up thing, but I think once we get these pallet posies back, we're good to end the day. We caught some data files, so we'll go ahead and read those. And then we will blast off and end our third day, I believe our third day here on PNF 404. And another successful one. You might think, oh my gosh, we only got 2 fruits. That's not going to make a lot of juice. Oh my friend, just you wait. But now we do have over 100 of a certain type of Pikmin, which is always nice to have, just in case we experience any major losses. All of those new guys will go back in the onion. We will put all you guys back in the onion. Make sure our new count outside says 0, which it does. And then, yeah, that's pretty much going to be the channel. We do have a little more I want to do in this episode, but pretty much that's what I want the channel to be here at the start. It is going to be a learning experience and hopefully a growing experience as well. I don't know how those are different. I am just saying words at this point. But please, yeah, if you are watching and if you would like to see more and if you think you see the potential of something here to grow, leave a comment, leave anything, any kind of feedback. And if you can help in any sort of way with branding or anything like that, feel free to reach out in these early stages. It's kind of just trying to get a community, even if it's like 3 people, to get started here. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this day. We'll hit the pause button and we'll hit end day. Oh wait, before we do, I will not forget this time. We have data files, Pikmin behavior. We have, oh my gosh, we have 2 new ones. On Rock Pikmin, said it right this time. Here we go. Rock Pikmin number 2. Break the crystal nodule for a chance to attack. That is so random about a random enemy. I don't know. Okay, I guess that's a fact. Rock Pikmin aren't crushed when trampled on. That's a good fact. Because you know, you might be a little more cautious. With Rock Pikmin, you can, I mean, these are durable motherfuckers right here. You throw them into anything. Throw them into the wood chipper, and they'll be A-okay. It could jump down. It can't jump when it's weighed down by Pikmin. If, for some reason, you ever try to fight a yellow Wollywog without rocks. Which, I mean, sometimes it is good to do so, just because you don't want to go get rocks, or you just don't have rocks for what you're trying to do on that certain day. And now with that, we will leave Brittany out wherever I threw her. I've forgotten. Oh, she's just right there. We'll leave her there by the water. And we'll get the hell out. Come on, Elf. Get in that shit. We will end the day. We'll blast off here, leaving no Pikmin behind. But was it really ever a question? No, it wasn't. I always like to try not to leave Pikmin behind. I will lose 20 Pikmin to 1 enemy, but I will hate myself more if I leave any behind. Let's get our little review here of the day. We have 2 new fruits. New fruit. Yes, indeed, Brittany. The fire-breathing feast. My god, this, I mean, it looks like a fireball. It looks so cool. I've never had dragon fruit. But, I mean, look at this. It looks so sick. Let's get it juiced. And you see, it's just going to produce so much. A lot of the fruits the bosses drop will just give you so much juice. The Zest Bomb. I love how exciting it makes just regular, everyday fruits sound like they're just the greatest thing on planet Earth. Brittany laments, you know, sharing food with others. There's the last of the provisions that we brought along this journey with us. Everything else is natural, PNF 404 branded, pure, organic, farm fresh juice. The big spike from Roxanne, and then the gradual spikes of the reds as we try to build them up throughout the day. And finally, let's see here. Who's right in today's file? It's Brittany. Alf's got to work on a phone. We recovered the communication device that was inside the armored Maudad. According to Alf, this device contains parts that may expand the Drake's communication range. I've never seen him so excited. I'm more than happy to write down today's report while Alf examines the device. Sometimes he can be so diligent. Indeed he can. And with that, we will end our 3rd day here, but we're not quite done with today's episode. Even though I did think I took that day a little longer than I planned to before. I think I planned to taking it all the way down to the count. We do have one more thing we want to do, so I will join y'all over there in a quick second. That is right, I have forced everyone to join me back here at the title screen. How exciting. Except this time, we're going to do our first little foray here into mission mode. Now, I believe from my knowledge of Pikmin 3, that a lot of the missions in there were released DLC for the game that you could buy. Of course, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Nintendo needs to find some type of way to justify selling it at full price again, a game from 2013. So they included all this content here on the base game. And one category here is defeat bosses. And as you can may or may not see, ignore the medal currently on the boss, but there's 5 slots. So presumably we have 4 more bosses. And here's our first one. So I thought, why not? We just do this. If anything, we want to do it at some point just to get the medal. As you can see there, it took me 42 seconds. So if this takes me any longer, then, well, that's sad. We're going to start here with a base selection of Pikmin, and then we're going to have a bunch of other Pikmin scattered around the arena. Here, I'll skip this, and I'll immediately open our map. So as you can see here, we have a bunch of red Pikmin behind us. We have a bunch of red Pikmin to the side here. A bunch of rock Pikmin. Almost did it again. A bunch of rock Pikmin back here, and then a bunch of other reds right next to them. We just want to whistle them up. But first he's going to do this attack, so we'll get these reds first. Then we'll grab these guys. We'll let this guy just move around. And then we're going to do what we did last time. Fling some rocks at this guy's tail. Okay, we got his tail. And we'll just charge reds. They will... they'll leave him at 1 HP. And they're going on a trip. Are we going to do better? I mean, it's just when he comes down, I'm going to throw a rock at him and he will die. Come on. Come on, Scrumptious. Man, look at him go through those mushrooms. A real man's man. And he's dead. He would have been dead quicker, but so is the way. And we look at his corpse and we celebrate. Mission cleared! Yay! Did we beat our old time of 42 seconds? Let's see, let's see, let's see. Victory! Oh my... I guess we know how long his one cycle takes. If you're on the 42-second mark. But yeah, now that is it for everything in this third episode here of Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Next time, we're going to be seeing where that communication device we picked up in the Garden of Hope takes us, and try to maybe get some more answers on our lost captain, Mr. Charlie. We'll see what he's up to, hopefully. See you all then.